At the London Film Festival this year, it seems we just keep going from one directorial debut to another. This is my review of Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Lost Daughter. We follow Leda, a middle-aged divorcee on her beach vacation that takes a dark turn when she begins to confront the troubles of her past. Before I properly start my review for The Lost Daughter, I want you to let me know your thoughts on it, whether you're excited, whether you've seen it, anything and everything. Just start the conversation. That is always the most important part. And while you're down there, make sure to click the subscribe button if you like what you see here. As I said at the beginning, one directorial debut to another. I'm always supportive of an actor who wants to step behind the camera, and one thing that you notice when an actor steps behind the camera to make their directorial debut is that they can direct actors really well. As actors themselves, these directors know exactly what an actor needs, what an actor wants to give a great performance. And Maggie Gyllenhaal clearly knows how to direct her actors, from Dakota Johnson to Oliver Jackson-Cohen to the fantastic Olivia Colman, who is excellent. She has to carry this entire film on her back. This is a film that has a lot of ambiguous and ambitious ideas and has to put all of that across to the audience, a lot of times through just the performance of Olivia Colman. And to no surprise, but nevertheless admirable, she can do that very well. Another big standout is Jessie Buckley, who plays a younger version of Olivia Colman. And she's tremendous as well. It really feels like these two are the same person. They're playing on all these different levels, all these very complex levels of emotion very well. This is a film that I adored the themes that it is going for. Talking about very gray areas of morality when it comes to the struggles of motherhood, and especially young motherhood. It is thematically an interesting meditation on maternal responsibilities, and I appreciate all these ideas and how they're interweaved into the script and the characters. I like the story of this film. I don't like the plotting of this film. And if you don't know the difference, quickly, a story is essentially what a film is actually trying to say. A plot is literally the events of the film in consequence, and I just didn't care for the plot of this film. It seems to go all over the place for me, unfortunately. Unlike Rebecca Hall with her feature debut in Passing, Maggie Gyllenhaal just doesn't seem to have found a concrete style to grab onto these themes, so it all feels a bit lost, a bit scatterbrained. To the point where you can literally notice in scenes as they start, you can kind of see what they're going for, but then the rest of the scene feels meandering and it ends up losing its own plot and not really going anywhere. I kept questioning character decisions throughout this entire film, almost like it felt like two movies that should have totally been sequels. We should have gotten the full story of Jessie Buckley's character and then jump into the sequel where we followed Olivia Colman. There's so many things that we see in flashbacks with Jessie Buckley that we end up not getting clear answers to, where it clearly was needed to get what Olivia Colman's version of the character was going through. And when you put the flashbacks with Jessie Buckley and the present day with Olivia Colman together, it feels like they're a beginning and an ending, and we're very much missing the middle of this story, the middle of this character's arc and what she went through. In fact, I will tell you that the strongest part of the film are the flashbacks, because they lay that foundation. They make you understand the brief glimpses that we get at these themes and these interesting topics when it comes to the future version of the character. And I found myself really pulled onto those flashbacks, and in the present I was really grabbing onto the performances and never the story or the plot in itself. The Lost Daughter meanders through most of its runtime. It struggles to keep your attention or to have any semblance of what these characters are going for, where they started, and when they end up feels almost completely disconnected. And it was frustrating, to say the least, that a film that has so much promise, it has such interesting themes, and you can actually see the semblance of goodness in it, but it ends up being just the first big dud of the festival for me. It's a film that doesn't even have a trailer out, and I can completely understand that because this seems impossible to market. I have no idea how Netflix is going to market this. It's also based on a novel, which kind of makes it make sense when you have the middle portion of the life of this character kind of missing. A lot of it just feels lost in translation, quite literally. I'm giving The Lost Daughter a D. Those are my thoughts on The Lost Daughter. Apparently a lot of people enjoy this at Venice and I believe at TIFF, so I want to know your thoughts on it, if you've seen it, if you're excited, anything and everything down there in the comments below. As long as you start the conversation, that's all that matters because it's the most important part. And if you like what you saw here, click the subscribe button so you do not miss any further LFF coverage and of course any future conversation on your favorite movies and TV. There should be a playlist for all the London Film Festival coverage so far, and I'll be back very soon with more, including Benediction, Mothering Sunday, King Richard, Benedetta, and many others. I hope to see you in those. So until then, love each other and love the movies.